What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Super excited to share this vlog with you for a couple of reasons. This is the first vlog I get to make at Portland Meadows, one of my favorite venues in the Portland area, and also because Johnnie Vibes is in town. Johnnie is one of the OG poker vloggers and an exceptional content creator. If you're not already subscribed, I'll throw a link to his channel in the description, as well as to his vlog of tonight's session. Looks like he had a pretty tough one. Hopefully mine goes better. Let's get into it. The first hand I get involved in, we're playing a $5 double board 5-card PLO bomb pot. 8 of us see a flop of 6 Queen Jack Rainbow on top and 4 7-6 on bottom. And I look down at Ace 10 8 5 3. I've got a double gut shot on top. King or 9 would give me the straight, and I flop the nuts on bottom. Action checks to me and I bet 25. And interestingly, with 2 rainbow boards, I still get calls from 3 players. 4 ways to the turn, which comes a king on top and a deuce on bottom. I hit the nut straight on top, and I still got the nuts on bottom. That's nut, and we're way beyond a boom here. Hell, we're past a mega boom. No, I think this calls for a ultra. Oh shit! Watch out! Action checks to me again, and this time I bet 125. 2 players fold, but the middle position player raises me all in for 244, and I snap call. We go heads up to the river, which comes a 3 of clubs on top, that's a brick, and a jack of hearts on bottom, putting a possible heart flush on the board. But no flushes for my opponent. I'm not sure what they had exactly, all I know is they didn't have the flush, and I scoop this huge pot. Let's go. Let's play another bomb pot. In this one, 8 of us see a flop of Ace 6 Jack 2 diamonds on top and 9 King 6 Rainbow on bottom, and I pick up King Queen Jack 9 6. I flop 2 pair along with a gut shot to the nut straight on top, and I flop top 2 and a gut shot on bottom. Action checks around to me, and while I do flop pretty strong, a 5-card PLO, it's almost guaranteed that 2 pair won't be good on either board by the river, so I decide to check back. Still 8 ways to the turn, which comes a 10 of hearts on top and a queen of diamonds on bottom. I turned a nut straight on top and a better 2 pair on bottom, and I still have the gut shot straight draw. No checking around this time. There's a bet to 15 with 3 players call. When action gets to me, I'm going to bop it up to 100, both for value and protection, and only 1 player makes the call. Heads up to the river, which comes a 3 of clubs on top and a 4 of diamonds on bottom, which puts a possible diamond flush. This time, my opponent takes the lead and jams for 171. Looks like they might have rivered a flush on bottom. I make the call, and my opponent does have the nut flush, so we're going to chop this one as my straight is best on top. My opponent actually flopped a set of aces and the nut flush draw on top, so looks like I dodged quite a few nasty river cards. Can't be too upset about the chop here. Enough 5-card madness for now. Let's head to the Hold'em streets. In this one, I get dealt Ace 10 suited in the low jack. There's a limp from under the gun. I raise it up to 10. Big blind calls, and under the gun makes the call as well. 3 ways to a flop of 9 deuce 10 2 diamonds. Pretty draw heavy board, so when action checks to me, I'm going to c-bet for value and protection. I bet 20, and the under gun player is the only one to call. Heads up to the turn, which comes a brick. Under the gun checks to me. I bet 50, and I take the pot down. In this one, I get dealt Ace Queen in middle position. There's a limp from under the gun, and I raise to 10. Low jack, small blind, and under the gun players make the call. 4 ways to a flop of 6 Ace Jack Rainbow, and action checks to me. I c-bet for 20. All 3 opponents fold. More chips coming my way. With a $5 button straddle on, I look down at pocket 7s in the big blind. I decide to just call here. So does the hijack. Button checks their option, so we go 3 ways to a flop of 3-4 deuce Rainbow. Fantastic board for my hand. I decide to check and float, see what my opponents do, and they both check. Turn comes the Jack of Diamonds, and this time I decide to put some money in the pot, mostly because I'm pretty sure I have the best hand and could benefit from some protection against overcards, so I bet 15, and the hijack player is the only one to make the call. The river comes the 10 of Diamonds. With a second overcard to my 7s, I decide to check, and my opponent checks back. I announce 7s, and they're good. In this one, we're playing another bomb pot. I've got Ace Ace 10 9 deuce, and 8 of us see a flop of 3 deuce 8 2 spades on top and 9 4 ace Rainbow on bottom. Best thing going for me on top is a backdoor nut flush draw, but I do flop top set on bottom. Action checks to me and I bet 30 bucks. Only one player makes the call. Heads up to the turn, which comes to 7 of clubs on top and 7 of spades on bottom. I turned a nut flush draw and a straight draw on top, and I still got top set on bottom. There are now 2 spade draws, and since I'm holding the ace of spades, I want to continue betting and putting pressure on my opponent. If I get called, I still have outs to the nuts on both boards. I lead out for 100, a full pot bet, and the big blind tank calls. Heads up to the river, which comes a 6 on top and the king of spades on bottom. I rivered the nuts on top, and the spade draw does come in on bottom. Big blind once again checks to me, and with the added security of having the nuts on top, I continue with my plan of trying to scoop this spot. I fire out a bet of 200, and my opponent folds. Let's go, picking up another nice pot here. That's all the hands for today. I ended up playing a pretty short session of less than 3 hours, buying in for 400 and cashing out for just under 1,000. Unfortunately, just as my seat at Johnny's table opened up, he decided to call it a night. I decided to rack up as well and hang out for a little bit before he headed out. We talked about vlogging, among other things, and it was really cool to hear him share his experience and insights. Super cool dude all around. It was really awesome meeting him. Once again, make sure to check his channel and his vlog of this session in the description below. In the meantime, thanks for watching, good luck at the tables, and catch you in the next one.